And welcome back to Sports Talk. Doug Miles and Don Henderson with you. And a nice event over the weekend. Of course, the Hall of Fame for football is always a great event to watch. And a man who went in is a good friend of Don Henderson, of course, the great football coach and broadcaster, and also a winemaker. Dick Vermeil went in, and Dick Vermeil is a good friend of Don, as we mentioned. And Don, you had a chance to chat with him for a few minutes today as we talked today. So how's Dick doing?
Doing very well. I tried to get him to come on the Wednesday night show with us, but he really is involved in the wine business now, and he had a wine tasting presentation on Wednesday night, so he can't join us on Wednesday. And I just said to him, well, we'll catch up with you next week or the week after. And then you told me he's going to be in Sarasota one day in the near future. I don't know exactly which day it is, but I'll tell you, what a great guy and what a great coach. And a great time to go in. He waited a long, long time to be accepted into the Hall of Fame. Peterson made a great presentation before the Dick spoke himself yesterday at Canton, and he had to laugh a little bit. He said to me, "I went a little long," but he said I was last, and they told me I didn't have to worry about the time constraints. So he ran a little bit long. He thanked a lot of people.
You could almost put him in as a coach. As a coach, but you could also put him in as a broadcaster, because people may forget. They knew him as a broadcaster doing the color on on the broadcast, the football college games for so many years. Maybe they weren't alive when he was coaching the Eagles, but he was an outstanding broadcaster too.
Yeah, he was. He was an outstanding coach at UCLA. He was an outstanding coach at all the way up he's really from the West Coast. Junior high school or junior college teams. He did a lot of things on the West Coast before he became an assistant and then a head coach at UCLA, and won as he said in the speech yesterday, if you didn't win that game, you may not be there. That a lot of things fell in his favor. The fact that he won the Super Bowl with then the Los Angeles Cardinals. Rams, Los Angeles.
St. Louis Rams.
I'm sorry. Time, yeah. St. Louis Rams, yeah. And then, of course, went to Kansas City and got again. So we had the Eagles, Kansas City, St. Louis, and he had a great, great career coaching and great winning percentage every place he went, whether it was college or the pros, and one of the most liked guys you'd ever want to know. So nobody could be happier to see Dick than I was.
Of course, Don worked on the Eagles broadcast when Dick Vermeil was the coach. Did you do the pre and post, or the coaches show with Dick back then with the Eagles?
No, I didn't. I didn't do one of the shows over there until later on. You came in. I think I told you the story. I'll say it real quickly. Matty Gukas and I were doing the 76ers, and we did the L.A. Lakers and the Philadelphia 76ers at the Forum.
Right.
Was on a weeknight, and we got the early flight back to Philadelphia because I had to be back to work in the afternoon. And so we're in a plane, and we're talking to all the different people around us about sports and this and that and the other thing, and so with plane lands, and I get a thing on the radio, go right over to the vet. Leonard Tosin just hired a new coach. And I said, holy smokes, at 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm just coming back from California. So I run over there with the recorder, and I go to the press conference, and the guy that was sitting one row in front of us talked to us the whole time was Dick Vermeil. I had no idea who he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had already won with UCLA. Excuse me, he'd already won with UCLA, and we're talking, and nobody in the plane knew who he was. And we get to the press conference, I said, what the heck is this?
Oh, you mean you talked to him on the plane? Oh, I got you. On the plane right back.
Yeah, we knew nothing about it. We knew who he was.
He was there, I guess, about, 10 years, and then maybe it wasn't 10 years, but it was close to that. And then he just got out of it because he was kind of burned out. That's what he went to the broadcast booth.
Exactly right. He got burned out, and then he worked with Musburger for a number of years, and did a great job on the college games. And after he was out of the game for a while from the coaching standpoint,
about 17 years he He did the broadcast, and then he went back to the coaching, which is almost
And
unheard of. Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Carl Peterson was, of course, the guy that, as I said in the introduction yesterday for the Hall of Fame, his lifelong friend, and was with him with the Eagles. But anyway, he went back. He decided, okay, I'm recharged from being away from the field and coaching, and he went back to the St. Louis Rams and took him. And as he said, Kurt Warner, if it weren't for Kurt Warner, who everybody said had no chance to be a quarterback in the National Football League, he said he took me to the Super Bowl. He said that's why I'm here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they win that, and then he went to Kansas City a couple years later and almost took them to the Super Bowl. They had a decent team. They got to the playoffs, and they were pretty good. Not quite as good, obviously, as the Rams were, but he finished up his career there, and then he went into the wine business. So very successful in the wine business.
Yeah, and Carl Peterson was then, in charge of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's how he went from St. Louis to Kansas City.
Right.
His best friend, who was with him all the way from the Eagles, was then an executive with Kansas City, and he brought him in, and that's exactly what happened. And he always lived in California. And in fact, one of the funny stories, not to take too long on this one, but when I was out there, he was doing a wine explanation. They have a train that runs out through the wine country. You go out as a visitor, and you get they take you through all of the Napa Valley, and they have speakers, and Dick happened to be the speaker when we were out there. But anyway, to make a long story short, he grew up in which I didn't even know anything about. His family was in the automobile business. They raced cars.
Oh, really?
And his brother still had cars and still raced out there, and he was in a number of different events, and so you would think Dick grew up in the automobile racing business, and he winds up as a coach in football. So they're quite a contrast, but still very competitive.
Yeah, great talented man, and I guess he's still doing pretty well, right? I mean, I didn't get to see him on TV. He looks pretty good.
Oh, very good. He's doing real well. His health is very good, and as I said, he's right now touring, and his whole wine company. He's really done very well moving into the wine business, and he really he not only enjoys it so much himself, but I mean, he enjoys that as much as he enjoyed football. He enjoys the wine business. He's very much into the wine business.
Tom Seaver, when he retired from the baseball but broadcasting, he did that for many years. The wine business out in pretty much the same area. So great. Yeah,
they're all pretty much in the same area. And if you go out there, you go from one winery to the next, and they're very, 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 very different. And it's really a pleasure to go in on. As you know, I'm not really I'm not a drinker, but my wife, she would taste the wine. I didn't really get into tasting wine, but she would try each one of them. And one of the nicest places is the director of The Godfather. He has a wonderful winery.
Right.
He has a terrific winery out there.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Francis Ford Coppola, right. And he has a terrific winery out there. Has an Etzel. They all have showrooms, and then they have wine tasting areas, and so it's really a great treat to go out there and see them all. Yeah. And but Francis Ford Coppola has a very, very nice display, and has a Ford Etzel out there. I hadn't seen a Ford Etzel in years, but he's got a Ford Etzel as one of the speaking points within his showcase. Yeah.
And just for people that may be listening to us where we are in Sarasota, if they hear this piece on Dick Vermeil, he's going to be in our area. He's going to be speaking at a Riverview High School football fundraising dinner. Now, I'm not exactly sure when it is. I think it's sometime this week as we do this second week of August, so you can look it up. But he will be in our area. But hopefully we'll get him on with us, Don, one of these days.
Well, hopefully we'll do that, too.
Remembering Dick Vermeil, Hall of Fame. Congratulations to him, and we'll be back in just a minute.